Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new video. I'm very annoyed because I was very happy with the commentary I had, but unfortunately I moved my computer to a new room, so a lot of my settings on my computer got reset, so the webcam microphone was the one that was recording the audio, and it sounds actually horrendous compared to this microphone. But this video will have two workouts, the one from Saturday and the one from Sunday. And really the Saturday session kind of gave me information about the next 4 weeks that I think will be valuable. And I finally have kind of hit the wall where I just can't keep progressing the waves each Saturday with the way that I am training right now. So I kind of have to, not necessarily dial it back, but just kind of reset to where I'm working back with lighter weights and focused on accumulating more and more volume, and then kind of increasing the intensity and stuff, just normal training, but just getting back to some lighter weights for the first 3 weeks, and then continuing the intensity but decreasing the volume on the 4th week, and then having the kind of like final day at the end of the 4 weeks, and then just repeating that. So it's not necessarily like 4 weeks and then I'm done training, or it's like it's all-time max out or anything, but it's just kind of like a repeatable 4 weeks. So each 4 weeks will give me a chance to assess how training is going, if I want to change any of the movements, particularly when it gets cold. Like the block work will probably be changed to a different session, just because it won't be as feasible to do every Monday. But for now, I'll be able to continue to do that. And most of the other sessions, just kind of getting into the groove of what I want them to look like. For instance, in the second workout that you'll see in this video, having the snatch balances, behind the neck jerks, and clean pulls. I really like that for a Sunday session. It only took me like 30 minutes to do the session, so that was really nice for a Sunday, because in theory I should be really fatigued from Saturday, so having one that's easier on Sunday will just be better in general. And it's kind of like the idea of like every other day is a hard training session, every other day is an easier one. This week will kind of be an exception to that, because on Wednesday I most likely won't do any form of training because we have conferences that will go until 8 o'clock, and so I most likely won't do anything. And if I do, it will be the Thursday session, which is like muscle snatches and muscle cleans. It'll just be really light. Honestly, I probably won't, and just focus on the cardio, which is something that I've been doing with the rowing machine. I've been doing it in the morning and evening, increasing 5 calories each time I do it, not because I necessarily care about the amount of calories that I'm burning, but just because it's a way to measure how much energy expenditure that I'm doing for each session, and just trying to progress that up and kind of see how far I can push it. I'm not necessarily worried getting it to a certain amount or a certain level, just worried about just trying to do a little bit more each time. And because I'm still newer at cardio, or at least I'm still getting like newbie gains, just like you would for any sort of exercise, I'm going to be able to progress it for a while. And hopefully, besides the actual cardio benefits of recoverability and just general health, it's also kind of nice, the rowing machine. It's kind of extra pulling stuff for like, it's almost like extra shoulder work, so that might be good with that. What was interesting with the reason why you can kind of probably ever seen with the snatch and stuff, where I started to miss 118 and stuff, and just didn't really feel it on this day. And it kind of like made sense. Like I kind of knew from the training on Friday that I was like, all right, I'm kind of like hitting the wall. I'm kind of like gassed out. So I kind of need to reset. And the way that I'm going to structure the 4 weeks is, I think I kind of mentioned this, but have lighter weights at the beginning, and then increase the intensity, but also the the volume for the first 3 weeks, and then dial the volume back a lot for the 4th week, and kind of have that be a quote unquote deload, but you're still pushing heavy weights for the most part. But then having that 4 weeks be the the maximum waves, or the heaviest waves I'll do in the 4 weeks, and then just continue to reset. The cardio aspect kind of is just added in there just for general health, but it might help me for recoverability as well. What was interesting with this snatch balance session was that my left shoulder got a bit sore, which was interesting because I was really trying to make sure that it was back behind me in a position that I would be able to catch in the snatch, or should be able to catch in the snatch, I should say. And it's a similar thing with the behind the neck jerk. So definitely think this will be good to have on a day like this, because it's exercises that I don't necessarily need to go super heavy on, but it'll be one that's almost like a mobility exercise for me. So definitely want to continue to add that in. But I'm kind of excited for this 4 weeks blocks, and just like kind of repeating them, and adjusting things as I go. If I need to change different days and exercises, like this Wednesday, moving some exercises from Wednesday to Thursday, moving some other ones from that Wednesday to Tuesday. Particularly the back squats and pulls that I originally planned on Wednesday, I'm going to move to Tuesday, and then the snatch and clean jerk work I'll just move to Thursday. And then next week, just everything will be back on a normal schedule for the most part, unless there's more things I have to adjust. But I kind of want to just have repeatable weeks and just build the volume and stuff like that. But I'm really happy with how training is going in general. So I don't want to reinvent the wheel, but I do know that I need to work with some lighter weights. I need to accumulate more volume just to kind of build everything up. I just can't continue to push heavy on everything and hope to progress. I need to actually build the base and then try to progress. But the long-term plan as far as training goes is to push like this in this 4 weeks blocks, really just kind of continually as long as I can, but to look back at the end of the 4 weeks and see if I can do more weight in the first week than I did in this one, and then 2 blocks from now look back and see if I'm able to continually progress with that. And if training continues to go well and I'm able to get back to old numbers and be able to start taking cracks at like 130 in these waves and stuff like that obviously will mean just good training in general. If I'm able to say do like 120, 125, 130 in waves, that'd be tremendous, and would just mean that I'm generally getting stronger overall, of course. But once I am hopefully at that point, I've built myself up to that level, it'll be around at least in the spring of next year, maybe in that May time before the competition, that I'll probably do around the same time as I've done the last couple of years, and see if I can try to beat my competition best there. I think with the general trajectory that training's going and just how like my health and stuff is going as far as my shoulder and quad tendons and stuff, I think I'll definitely be able to continue to push the weights up and progress. I just have to be smart about it and not be a complete knucklehead about my training, and just continue to be smart about everything, but also to get into routines that I can maintain. And whether that's the cardio that I'm going to try to do twice a day in the morning and the evening, but also just the weeks of training, trying to make sure that I have times where I'm working with lighter weights and I have times that I'm working with heavier weights, and just varying those times and just having a general structure and trying to keep everything as similar as possible, but also being able to adjust things if I feel like there is that need. So this first week here, as will probably be every first week of a 4-week block, is kind of like the introduction, or like not necessarily an experiment, but just seeing how everything feels as I move through it during the week. For instance, the session that I did here, doing reps in the snatch balance is something I haven't done in quite a while. So just seeing like what weight felt comfortable for that, and with like the behind the neck jerks, I was thinking of doing doubles with that, but catching the re-racks was really fatiguing, so I didn't want to do that multiple times. So like little adjustments like that, but like the general idea of these sessions will be there. If you are curious what these sessions will look like, or at least what my tentative plan is, you can look at one of my live streams. I mentioned that I was writing out my program as well as playing some chess, and you can kind of click through that and see what my general plans are. But it's really just a simple linear progression, and then at the end of the 4 weeks, go back to lighter weights. And so it's just pushing within those 4 weeks and trying to build strength and consistency, all that good stuff. Nothing that's really too radical, but a lot of the sessions will continue to be similar, but they'll be dropping back in weights and just trying to get more better. Another odd thing is I'm noticing that my weight's going up, which is odd because I've been meal prepping really well and not eating as much. Maybe I'm just getting better at eating and doing that. So that's something I have to keep track of. And it could also just be because I'm eating more consistently that I'm just more hydrated in general. So I'm just retaining more fluid than I otherwise would. I'm not varying that. So it's something to pay attention to make sure I'm not getting into loss of territory, but I'm not too worried about that. But anywho, apologize if I was a bit redundant in this. I try my best to remember how I talked in the first commentary. And usually I have to record it a couple times, but I actually made it through twice without having to stop and start, which is pretty good for me. Saves me some time, and it makes the flow of the conversation, I think, sound a bit better. But anywho, that's going to be it for this one. I'll talk to you all on the next one. I hope you all have a great day. Peace.